Hi everyone. So this video is to walk you guys through your first essay. And it's really quite an open essay. You are essentially going to be creating an argument about an issue that you can support with a solid and relevant set of examples or evidence. So you can pick your topic, but whatever you pick will be subject to approval simply because it needs to be appropriate, number one, of course, but number two, you'll be doing not only this essay, but the next essay over this subject matter. And since I know what the next essay is going to require in terms of research, I need to be able to approve whether or not this essay is going to fit those requirements. So essentially what you need to do is pick something that has an arguable stance. It needs to be something that you can prove rather than something you can argue for sake of opinion. So importantly, the essay is going to be 3 to 4 pages in length and is due on Sunday, June 24th at midnight. It's going to require Mla formatting, and then every assignment should be checked for plagiarism, will be checked for plagiarism. And then please note that the 3-page minimum means that you need to write to the bottom of the 3rd page at minimum. Anything less than that will be have points deducted. So, as I said, the topic is very general, but it is something that I feel you can work within to find something that you're passionate about. So if you choose something that is debatable, that's often a good way to go. Whichever you choose, you're going to basically submit a proposal, and I'll either accept it or I'll ask you to revise it. So a couple of examples of successful essays from the past have been things about a lot of standard issues which are arguable. So DACA is one that people have argued about. Abortion is one people have argued about a lot. There are essays that have been about certain laws, certain rights, lowering the drinking age, raising the drinking age, banning cell phones, not banning cell phones. There's a lot of different areas you could go. What I suggest is that you choose something that you're passionate about. So I've had students who have written about using hormones in meat products, or students who have argued for introducing stricter fines or stricter penalties for major league or professional sports players caught using steroids. Things that don't work are things that are based in opinion. So if I have a student who proposes, say for example, that they want to argue that LeBron is the greatest of all time, that is a really nice subject, but it's not something that you can back up with research and credibility. No matter how much you argue the stats, it's not something that is fact-based or something you can prove. So make sure you choose something that is concrete and narrow and focused that you can write not 1 but 2 essays on, essentially. In that second essay, you're also going to have to interview someone who has to do with that topic, so keep that in mind as you choose your topics. So your essay ultimately is going to have the general parts of an essay. So you need to have an introduction with a thesis statement, which is your claim or your argument. It needs to have body paragraphs with solid evidence from good sources. And a conclusion. So actually, I just realized, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the second essay. In this one, you won't have any evidence from sources. You can pull it into 1 or 2 sources if you like, but you're not required to. But then you also are going to have a conclusion, good transitions, etc. So you'll go through this when you do your outline, but importantly, you're going to be looking at not only the reasons that you believe that X, Y, or Z is true, but you're going to be looking at counter-arguments and rebuttals of those counter-arguments. So when you write an essay, when you write an argument, it's important to keep in mind that your opinion is not the only opinion that is valid. So when you create an argument, you always want to make sure that to state clearly, this is what I believe, and then you want to follow it up by explaining that you understand that there are other points of views. So you might say, I understand, if you want to argue that, say, something silly like dogs are the best animal. You would say, I understand you would say, I believe dogs are the best animal. However, I understand that there are people who believe that cats are the best because they're calm and relaxing. But you don't leave it there. You always want to refute that argument. So you want to say, however, I believe that the active nature of a dog has far more value for people than something that is calm and relaxing like a cat. So you then refute or basically undercut or undermine the opposing point of view. So that's going to be something that you're going to have in your essay as well. So you'll be doing an outline assignment before this essay is due. So when you go to turn in this essay, there's two things you'll need to have in the same file. You'll want to keep a copy of that outline and submit it. And then you'll also want to have a final copy of your essay that's a clean draft that is in Word doc format. So I've given you some examples here. I've given you an example document for your outline, and basically it has the topic, the claim, the reasons, the oppositions, or the counter arguments, whatever you want to call it, and then the rebuttals of all of those points, and then a conclusion. So this is obviously not a fully fleshed out argument. It's simply a high overview of what your essay might look like or what the structure is. I've also given you guys an optional self-help guide or self-edit guide. You don't need to fill this out, but you can use it as a guideline to kind of help you edit and finalize before you turn your essay in. So if you have any questions about this, let me know, but otherwise hopefully it is fairly self-explanatory. You're going to go ahead and move on to the next assignment, and you'll be submitting your proposal to me before the end of the week.